He's here, he's handsome, he's got a beard, he is a veterinarian, and it is Pet Talk or Vet Talk, and Dr. Cliff Redford is the very person I'm talking about. Check out his podcast, Vet Life. It's about the life of a vet, probably. Cliff, welcome to the show.
That's a good, must be a good name because that is what it's about, the podcast. And I do have a very handsome face for radio and for podcasts. My podcast is audio only, so it works out very well.
And there you have it. Cultural differences are always fun to discuss, and a new study looks at how veterinarians and animal welfare scientists view animals and their welfare and their behavior in the UK and in Japan. I'm going to go on a tangent. I watched a video on YouTube, so definitely it's true and science-based. But it basically was people think animals make different noises in different parts of the world. Like, I don't know what country, but they think like dogs don't go woof woof, they go ark ark. And I always find cultural differences so fun. And this is an interesting lens to look at it.
Yeah, I mean, I just thought this is not off topic, but not what I was expected to talk about, but I'll bring it up. Like, you know, I've talked about on my podcast, Vet Life with Dr. Cliff, that my wife is Greek. I go to Greece, and her father lives in this tiny little village up in the mountain in this beautiful, idyllic setting, and he has roosters. And I would say cock-a-doodle-doo, right? That's the noise they make, cock-a-doodle-doo.
And in French, it's cocorico, cocorico.
Yeah, for them, they're like, they don't say cock-a-doodle-doo. They say cuckoo. I couldn't even think about. I was going to say Kyriaki, but that's their name for Sunday, the day Sunday. But you know, the joke is, do Greek roosters sound differently than Canadian roosters? I don't know.
We've just turned their vocalization into English incorrectly in every language.
I guess that's right. Yes, and we assume that we are correct because no, they must say it that way, and the Greek rooster is pronouncing it wrong. That's what's happening.
Like in Japanese, cats go nyan instead of meow, you know? Like, and do Japanese cats say nyan and not meow? Like, who knows? Anyway, let's get to the study here.
So this is pretty fascinating because, again, with my travels, I've had to learn to adjust my treatment plans or my recommendations to animals that maybe I think need to be euthanized, but they don't agree. And then there's sort of some religious connotation about, you know, we do not get to make a decision if this animal dies or not. And it's really quite fascinating. And if someone is like stubborn and closed-minded, they may just say, well, that culture is wrong because this is how I was raised, this is the right way. But the reality is, you know, there's room for differences of opinions. So this study was printed in the Animal Welfare Journal, and it was basically a study of a large group of veterinarians in the UK and a large group of veterinarians in Japan. And they're sort of looking at what is a good life. You know, what are the things that make an animal's welfare positive or negative, let's say. And they used a survey based around what they call the 5 freedoms. Okay, so freedom from hunger and thirst, freedom from fear or distress, freedom from pain, and then freedom from injury and freedom from disease. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And they basically asked them questions. They put them in different scenarios. And they also they sort of added freedom from the ability or freedom to express their natural behavior. And this is where they found a very significant difference. And in cats, they utilized the scenario of cats being indoors. Your cat, Tomato, stays inside, right? Mm-hmm. Why do you not let him outdoors?
Because he wouldn't last 2 seconds out in those streets.
Why not?
Because I live in downtown New York. The rats would beat him up if a car didn't hit him or a person.
Right. So there's dangers and et cetera,
but also if I lived in an area where it was safe for cats to go outside, I don't know if I'd let my cat go outside. I'm worried about diseases and I'm worried about like bird welfare.
Yeah, so that's a good point. So in Japan, they do not, according to the study, these veterinarians do not sort of worry about the cats being able to express their supposed natural tendencies or behaviors, and they keep cats indoors. They're worried about injury. They're worried about them being a nuisance to neighbors. They're worried about them being a nuisance to other animals. But in the UK, especially in rural areas, it's considered cruel to keep the cat indoors. You got to let them out and let them express their sort of natural tendencies. But In the U.S. alone, every single year, all outdoor cats combined kill 1 billion birds.
The number is insane. Yeah.
1 billion birds. So is it that we're just like, well, that's natural, or do we just not think about it?
It's not natural that we've got so many of this animal that is the descendant of an African wildcat around the world murdering birds.
Yeah.
On the individual level, it's natural, but on the like societal level, there's too many cats, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And then so they recognize there's this big difference between the UK and Japan. Then they also looked at sort of pain and welfare, and again, the ability to do their own natural movements. And they brought up the scenario of a dog that had lost its ability to walk. So it was paralyzed in the back legs. Those little wheelchair dogs that are adorable, right? When they hurt their backs. And the vast majority of veterinarians in Japan surveyed would like to continue care with this animal. Whereas the opposite was true with the veterinarians in the UK. They felt the best thing was to humanely euthanize this animal. And they were trying to figure it out, so they brought in some like psychology type people. They feel the difference is because of sort of normal cultural norms that can date back sort of generations. So in Japan, they have apparently a much more interdependence-oriented culture. Everyone is dependent upon one another. Everyone works together. Therefore, let's take care of the dog who's lost his back legs functioning. But in the UK, there's a much more individualistic. So they say, you know what? Is it that they don't want to take care of the dog, or they feel that it's cruel? I don't know. I mean, I support my clients' decisions either way. If they say they're ready to say goodbye to Buddy because he can't walk anymore, I get it. I support them. But then if the next one says, no, I want to take care of my dog, I want to do everything I can, okay, I'm going to support you.
But privately, what's your opinion? Put the dog on the wheels or let it go humanely?
If it was my dog, I would continue care.
Yeah,
I
me
would
too.
still want to take care of him. So, now, but the thing is, I have to accept the fact that I will give clients permission, not that they need my permission, but I'll say, look, we also have to look at your quality of life, and are you able to spend the time taking care of your dog
and
money?
Yeah.
I don't care about that. Come on, veterinarians don't care about that.
Take a third mortgage on your house. I got bills.
You got to do what you got to do. Come on, keep bringing them in. I try and give them all the information and almost give them a way out if they need that way out, because it's such a guilty decision have to make, right? That you're being forced to make. People will often think afterwards, did I make the right decision? Was I being selfish? Maybe I waited too long. There's so many.
But that's a part of grief. No, anyway.
That's a normal situation. But anyways, if it was my dogs, maybe 2 out of my 3 dogs. I'm just kidding. 1. I would take care of them if their back legs weren't functioning, and I would do the best I can.
What's the word for loving having a guest on a radio show who is effervescent and knowledgeable and a great conversationalist? Is the word triple? Is that the word I'm looking for?
I think it's thruple.
Thruple. Well, Cliff, I thruple you. I appreciate you coming on the show. You can check out Cliff's podcast, Vet Life, where he talks about aminals, probably, and other things, but mostly aminals, yeah.
Mostly.
Cliff, it was a joy having you on the show. Thanks for being here.
I appreciate it. I look forward to it every time.
Oh, what a nice guy.